on business math depreciation. It says a car valued at $600,000 depreciates by 10% each year. What will be the value of the car at the end of 2 years? So quickly, let's solve this. There are two methods to solve this, but the quickest method is to use the compound interest formula or compound depreciation formula, which is A equals to principal into principal into 1 plus or minus rate raised to power of n, that's number of years. The reason I wrote plus or minus here is if you are dealing with compound interest, you use plus. If you are dealing with population growth, you use plus. If you are dealing with this thing, population decline, you use minus. If you are dealing with depreciation, that's each year something is losing value, you use minus. So in this case, we are going to use minus. We are using A equals to principal. A means accumulated, the accumulated this thing investment or the accumulated value of that commodity. So P is the principal or money invested or initial value of a thing. So this is 1 minus the rate times n. So our P here, our P is $600. $600. Our rate is 10%. Rate is 10%. So our number of years is 2 years. So let's plug that in so that the value of the car after 2 years will be equals to 600,000 into 1 minus 10% raised to the power of 2, which equals to 600,000 into 1 minus 10%. 10% means 10 over 100. In decimal, it means 0.1. So 1 minus 0.1 raised to the power of 2, that will be 600,000. Open brackets. 1 minus 0.1 will be 0.9 raised to the power of 2. So you have 600,000 times the 0.9 raised to the power of 2 is 0.81. And when you multiply that, you have the value of that car after 2 years. When you do this multiplication, will be $486,000. $486,000. That's option C. So that's the fastest way to do that. But if you still want to know another method to do that, method 2. Method 2. So in this method 2, initial value, which is our principal, was $600,000. So by the end of the first year, at end of first year, the value of the car will be what? The principal minus 10% of the principal, which is 600,000 minus 10%, that's 10 over 100 of 600,000. So there you have 600 minus 6,000, which will give you which will give you 540,000. Is that right? 10% of that, two zeros cancel, times that's okay, that's 60,000. Okay, sorry. So this is 600,000 minus 60,000. Okay, so that's 500. So by the end of the first year, the value of the car will depreciate. So by the end of the first year, the value of the car will depreciate to $540,000. So let's do it for the second year. So as the year goes by, the car is depreciating by 10% of its current value. So at end of second year, the car will be what? This is the current value of that car after the first year. So that will be 540,000 minus 10% of that. 10%, that's 10 over 100 of 540,000. So if you do that, two zeros here, we'll cancel two zeros here. So this is 5,400 times that, that would be 54,000. So this will be 540,000 minus 54,000. So when you do that subtraction, you'll be having the value of the car after 2 years will be $486,000, which still gives us the same answer as the initial method. So whichever one is easier, you do it, but it's good to understand the whole thing, both method, and have a proper understanding of depreciation, appreciation, simple interest, and the rest. Thank you.